Let me ask, the sexy hot thing on the presses right now is GPT-3 got released with OpenAI. It's the latest language model. They have kind of an API where you can create a lot of fun applications. I think it's, as people have said, it's probably more hype than intelligence, but there's a lot of really cool things, ideas there. With increasing size, you can have better and better performance on language. What are your thoughts about GPT-3 in connection to your work with the open domain dialogue, but in general, like this learning in an unsupervised way from the internet to generate one character at a time, creating pretty cool text?
So we partner up before for the API launch. So we started working with them when they decided to put together this API. And we tried it without fine tuning, and then we tried it with fine tuning on our data. And we worked closely to actually optimize this model for some of our data sets. It's kind of cool because I think we're this polygon for this kind of experimental space for all these models, to see how they actually work with people, because there are no products publicly available that do that focus on open domain conversations. So we can, test how's Facebook Blender doing or how's GPT-3 doing. So with GPT-3, we managed to improve by a few percentage points, like 3 or 4, pretty meaningful amount of percentage points, our main metric, which is the ratio of conversations that make people feel better. And every other metric across the field got a little boost. Right now, I'd say 1 out of 5 responses from Replica comes from GPT-3.
Wow.
So our own Blender mixes up like a bunch of candidates from different...
Blender, you said?
Well, yeah, just the model that looks at top candidates from different models and then picks the best one. So right now, 1 out of 5 will come from GPT-3. That is really great. I mean,
do you have hope for, do you think there's a ceiling to this kind of approach?
So we've had for a very long time, we've used, so in the very beginning, most of Replica was scripted, and then a little bit of this fallback part of Replica was using a retrieval model. And then those retrieval models started getting better and better and better. With transformers, it got a lot better, and we're seeing great results. And then with GPT-2, finally generative models that originally were not very good and were the very, very fallback option for most of our conversations. We wouldn't even put them in production. Finally, we could use some generative models as well along, next to our retrieval models. And then now with GPT-3, they're almost on par. So that's pretty exciting. I think just seeing how from the very beginning of, from 2015, where the first models started to pop up here and there, like sequence to sequence, the first papers on that, from my observer standpoint, person who's not, is not really building it, but it's only testing it on people basically in my product, to see how all of a sudden we can use generative dialogue models in production, and they're better than others, and they're better than scripted content. So we can't really get our scripted hard-coded content anymore to be as good as our end-to-end models.
That's exciting.
Right? They're much better.
Yeah.
To your question, whether that's the right way to go, I'm in the observer seat. I'm just watching this very exciting movie. So far it's been stupid to bet against deep learning. So whether increasing the size even more, with 100 trillion parameters, will finally get us to the right answer. Whether that's the way, or whether there has to be some other. Again, I'm definitely not an expert in any way. I think, and that's purely my instinct, saying that there should be something else as well for memory.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the question is, I wonder, then the argument is for reasoning or for memory, it might emerge with more parameters. It might emerge larger.
But it might emerge. I would never think that, to be honest, like maybe in 2017, where we've been just experimenting with all the research that was coming out then, I felt like we're hitting a wall, that there should be something completely different.
Yeah.
But then transformer models, and then just bigger models, and then all of a sudden size matters. At that point, it felt like something dramatic needs to happen, but it didn't. And just the size, gave us these results that to me are, clear indication that we can solve this problem pretty soon.
Did fine tuning help quite a bit?
Oh yeah, without it, it wasn't as good.
I mean, there is a compelling hope that you don't have to do fine tuning, which is one of the cool things about GPT-3. It seems to do well without any fine tuning.
I guess for specific applications, you still want to train it on a certain, add a little fine tune on a specific use case, but it's an incredibly impressive thing from my standpoint. And again, I'm not an expert, so I want to just say that there will be people then.
Yeah, I have access to the API. I'm going to probably do a bunch of fun things with it. I already did some fun things. Some videos coming out, just for the hell of it. I mean, I could be a troll at this point with it. I haven't used it for a serious application, so it's really cool to see. You're right. You're able to actually use it with real people and see how well it works. That's really exciting.